Welcome everyone to the Inland Sports Show. Before we start the show, make sure you like this video and you've subscribed to the Inland Sports Show YouTube channel. And if you're a local business or organization and you'd like to promote yourself on this show, just send us an email, inlandsportsshow@gmail.com. The show starts right now. Garcia's left-footed. And what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Inland Sports Show, another at-home edition. I am your host, Pep Fernandez. We've got a lot of football and football in this show coming up. The 2023 high school football season previews roll on as we check in with the Fontana Steelers and Norte Vista head coach Ken Batdorf. A little bit later in the show, we'll talk football with Redlands FC, USL Second League, and League Two, making it to the playoffs in their first year here in Redlands. We'll catch up with head coach Cody Carlson. So that's coming up. But first things first, talking some high school football. We'll be out at Shark Fest at Santiago High School this Saturday for a big 7-on-7 passing league tournament. And so we got a lot of football coming your way in the coming weeks as we get closer to the start of the season. In fact, helmets and pads will be out in just about, a week and a half, 2 weeks at the most, depending when you're watching this show. So high school football is here for this upcoming season. And here at Inland Sports, we got some big plans. We're going to share those with you very, very soon. But a quick reminder, we just had a promo as well here that if you have a great video highlight in a game that you'd like to share with us, just email us, inlandsportsshow@gmail.com. So just remember that throughout the entire high school football season, if you capture a great play on video, send it to us. We got weekly awards that we're going to pass out. Of course, we got the shows we do every single week. So if you got a great highlight, please send it to us. We'd love to show everybody else, all right? Okay, our first segment here, we're talking to the Fohi Steelers, Coach Eric Gonzalez, and a couple of his star players. Fohi had a great season last year, so they won a couple of football games. They made it to the playoffs. They won a playoff game, and now that standard has been raised as we see the rise of the Fohi Steelers. Here's Fontana as our football previews roll on at Fohi. Inland Sports. And now join us here on the Inland Sports Show as we get you all set for the 2023 high school football season. These guys are coming off a breakout year, and it's always better in local football when Fohi is good. They made it to the playoffs. They won a playoff game, and the Steelers are back for more. Join us here on the show, head coach Eric Gonzalez, and a couple of his guys as well. But Coach Gonzalez, let me start with you first before we take a look at this upcoming season. Man, last year, to see Fontana winning some football games, getting to the playoffs, win a playoff game, do you feel like the foundation has been laid for Fontana to kind of, creep back into the conversation of league titles and maybe CIF runs and all those good things you guys coach and play for?
Yeah. I'm really excited to be here and be part of the Fohi legacy. I'm well aware of that legacy. I played against them throughout my high school career in the early 90s. So to be a part of the Fohi story was important to me. It's important to me that I leave this place better than when I found it. When I got here, there's been some good coaches that come through, but the program really struggled and it was kind of falling apart. And one of the mandates from admin was, all our other programs on campus are doing well. We got to get football back up there. And so that was my mission, and that's been my mission to get Fohi where it needs to be. Battling for league titles, battling for playoff spots, pray to the football gods, a ring. But those are all in our plans right now. Everything's going well. Culture, I think culture has been set. It's been a long road. I got hired 5 weeks before the first pandemic hit. And so I met the team through Zoom the first time, and then we didn't play a whole year, and then we came off that, and they offered us a COVID year, and I wasn't interested in doing that. And so, by the time we played, we hadn't spent any time on the field together. So that first year was real rough, but it was real important to me to establish culture. And that's what we were doing, reestablishing the weight room culture, reestablishing the classroom culture and the academics, reestablishing, all those things. And then because of that, everything's kind of fallen in line. And I really feel like, and my assistant coaches as well, we feel like we're going in the right direction right now. And we're going to make some noise, and we're going to be a problem for some people.
So, Coach Gonzalez, based on last year's success, does that kind of raise the standard now going into 2023? You're like, hey, because I'm sure you've got some returners and you've got some good ones too. Like, hey, guys, last year was fun and it was great to get to the playoffs. How do we take that next step? How do we get to the next level? Do you feel like 2023 could be another stepping stone and, again, the rise of Fontana football again?
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's another chapter in our story. And our story hopefully ends week 14 or even beyond. The kids got a taste of winning last year, and that taste of winning has established that winning culture, that little bit of a winning swagger. Obviously we haven't, we didn't do a whole lot. We didn't win the title or anything like that. But from where we were to where we are now, it's night and day. And we're a different team. The team from when I first showed up, you wouldn't even recognize us, and just kind of how we operate, and everything's been established. And so the kids are hungry. The kids want to win. The kids are excited. The kids have been working really, really hard this off season. We're using last year's successes and failures as the next stepping stone, the next platform to our success this coming year. Yeah. So everybody's really hungry. Everybody's really excited around here. We're going to have a brand new turf stadium here pretty soon. And all the things are kind of falling into place here.
All right, Coach, I know you've got some players with you as well. We'll do one by one, but why don't you introduce the first guy and put him on camera for us? Okay.
So our first one is going to be what you're going to find too. Sorry, Pat. What you're going to find too for us is like, I don't care what grade you're in, you're going to play. So a lot of our guys have been playing since they were like freshmen and sophomores on varsity, right? So this guy's 2 years. So we got Rashawn Williams coming up. He's our starting tailback, starting DB, all league 2 years in a row as a freshman and sophomore. So now going into his junior year. So this is Rashawn Williams.
Man, Rashawn, you're a seasoned veteran, man. You're what, going into your junior year? You're already a varsity veteran. What are your goals for this season?
My goals for the season is to win all home games. I really want to mark our field with our new field coming out and just play good.
Tell Coach, let's run the football, right? Fohi football, pounded on the ground, right? Hey, last year, again, I was talking to Coach about it. You guys had a successful season. You made it to the playoffs. You won a playoff game. Does that get you guys hungry and more excited about going into this season?
Yeah, the standards are higher now, like you were just saying. We just got to eat and just keep pushing.
And what do you think the keys are to just getting victories this year? I mean, Coach talked about changing the culture about, the weight room and getting it done in the classroom and all those sorts of things. But what do you think is important to make a successful winning season?
I say about everybody being on the same page, like the whole team wanting to eat and wanting to win and keep on coming to practice every day and working.
That's awesome, man. Hey, best of luck this season. I appreciate you jumping on the show. Let me go back to Coach Gonzalez here, Coach, because I know you got a number of guys. I want to make sure we make a couple of minutes for each of them. Introduce your next guy, Coach.
All right. Who's ready? Mr. Camacho. So we got Ruben Camacho, who's going to be running Q for us this year. He's got some wheels. He's got an arm, and he'll be exciting to watch this year. But this is Ruben Camacho.
Rube, what's up, man? So you're going to be engineering that Fohi offense this upcoming season. Do you guys have big goals? Do you feel like the standard has been raised going into this season?
Yes, for sure. Offense is looking pretty good too this year.
Offensively, I don't want you guys to give away all your secrets, but are you guys a pass first team? Are you a run first team? Or do you think you'll be pretty balanced this season?
I think we're going to be pretty balanced this season. We got good receivers. We got good tailback. So it's going to be half and half, I feel like.
Ruben, what have you guys been doing this summer to get better? I don't know if Coach Gonzalez is into the 7-on-7 thing. Some coaches are, some aren't. But what have you guys been doing this summer? I don't know if it's 7-on-7, hitting the weight room, going to the beach together as a team. I don't know what you guys do, but what do you feel like you guys are doing to come together and be better and be ready for that first game of the season?
I feel like we've just been here every day. Like, we're just working. All our guys are working. Just putting in the work.
Finally, Ruben, who's your favorite NFL quarterback, and what would you do to try to emulate his style? Like, what do you think makes a great quarterback? A leader, a guy who can throw the deep ball, a quarterback that can run. What do you think? Who's your favorite NFL quarterback, and what do you think makes him good that you try to emulate?
My favorite NFL quarterback is for sure Lamar Jackson right now. He's pretty balanced with his arm, his wheels. He's just fast. He's a good leader, too.
All right, the Lamar Jackson of the IE guys, Ruben Camacho right here. Ruben, I appreciate the time. Thank you so much. Let me go back to Coach Gonzalez. I think we've got another guy or two. Coach, so we're talking a little offense here. Who's on deck? Who's next?
You're gonna talk to your kid, Jose Lopez. He's gonna be a senior this year. He's gonna be running our tight end position, which we call a wing. I'm excited about him. He should have been out there with us last year. He had some health issues, but now he's all ready to go. He's 100%, and he's gonna be excited. You better keep your eye on this kid. He's kind of like the Travis Kelce of IE here. Right?
Holy smokes, the Steelers have the Lamar Jackson of the IE and the Travis Kelce of the IE. This is going to be a good team. Jose, let me ask you. I mean, you got the Fontana, logo. It says Fontana Steelers right there on your shirt. Do you feel like you're restoring some pride in that Fohi football program? Because if you're old like me, I got the gray hairs to show it, but if you're old like me, you remember Fohi was like the team. Do you feel like you guys are trying to restore that legacy, taking those baby steps to do that?
Definitely. All we want to do is get better every day. Coach says we got to compete every day, get 1% better every day, and that's our goal.
But what are some like realistic goals, Jose? I mean, do you guys feel like, hey, we should be in the mix for a league championship? We're hoping to have a winning record. We might, win a playoff game or two this coming season. What kind of goals do you think this team should have this year?
Our goal is to get far, get the ring. That's what all the boys want, and that's what we've been practicing for, giving 100% effort all day.
And Jose, Coach was just saying that you missed last season. Coming back this year, do you enjoy it more? Do you appreciate football more? Not being able to not play last year. Do you feel like, man, I'm going to really enjoy this experience this year?
Well, that actually really did reset my brain. It made me thankful that I could actually play and enjoy the sport.
Awesome, Jose. I appreciate the time. Repping Fontana right there. Coach Gonzalez, let me go back to you again. Do we have one more?
We got one more, Pep. You're going to want to talk to this one. He's going to be on the radar for a while. So we got receiver DB. Was a breakout freshman last year. He's going to be a breakout sophomore this year. He's going to make a lot of noise. Akari Augustine. You need to keep your eye on him. So he was all league last year, too, as a freshman.
Kari, what's cracking, man? Dude, listen, you go as a freshman playing varsity football. Were you I don't know, nervous or timid or anything like that? You just go out there and say, let's go.
I wasn't nervous. I've been doing this my whole life. I just go out, play, and God, really, just thankful.
Kari, last year, obviously you played as a freshman and you guys, won some football games and made it to the playoffs. Are there other guys on the team like you who are maybe freshmen or sophomore or juniors who are coming back? Do you have a lot of guys from last year's team that are returning this year?
Yes, we do. We have a great chemistry with everybody. We played together last year. We lost a few seniors, though. And we got a good squad with us this year.
The all-league or all-CIF honors are awesome, but at the end of the day, what's important to you? Is it the league championships? Is it maybe making a deep run in the CIF playoffs? Like, what's important to you?
Getting the ring at the end of everything, really.
All right, Kari, so we got the Travis Kelce of the IE and the Lamar Jackson of the IE, all at Fohi. Who knew? So, Kari, who's your NFL comp? Like, who do you like? Okay, I kind of play like this guy.
Odell Beckham Jr.
You like the one-handed catches, huh?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Carr, hey, best of luck this season as a sophomore, man. Really excited to see you pop off this year.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Let me go back to Coach Gonzalez to wrap this all up as we're talking Fohi football here on the Inland Sports Show. Coach, again, going back to last season, does it get you excited going into this year? Just based on the success you had, you've got some guys who got great experience last year coming back. Does it kind of get you excited about, where you guys might end up at the end of the year?
Yeah, I mean, last year, we were a game and a half away from playing in the championship. So, that Bassett game stung, but it also showed us too that had we had our heads on right and came to play from the outset, we would have won that game. We just ran out of time, and we would have been talking about a different story at this point. But yeah, that's fueled me. That's fueled our staff. That's fueled the players. Everybody's locked in. Everybody's excited on campus. Admin, teachers on campus. Everybody's excited about what's to come because we're so young. Like you asked Akari, like who's returning? Our whole offensive line is returning. Our whole defensive line is returning. Most of our DBs are returning. We only lost like a handful of seniors. Really impactful seniors, but the young guys coming up, I think are gonna definitely carry the load. And I'm excited. I mean, we're just gonna make some noise. We're gonna work really hard. We're gonna try to make some noise. And the goals are always the same. Beat your rival, win league, make the playoffs, and who knows what happens from there.
So, Coach, are you guys done with dead period? Or you guys just go straight into the season?
We just finished dead period. So we took dead period at the beginning of July, and so yesterday was our first day back from dead period. So it was a little clunky, but everybody just has to kind of get their football legs back, including me. Thank God we don't play a game for 4 weeks, so we're in good shape.
Yeah, before you know it, man, the helmets and pads will be coming up. But that is the good news. You got some time now before you play your first game, which I believe you do have a week 0. Is that correct?
We do. Yeah, we have 0 week. We're playing at San Bernardino. So we're getting ready for them right now.
Well, Coach Gonzalez, listen, congrats on last year. But, man, as we go into 2023, I feel like you guys have some unfinished business, coming up this year. Just based on the success you guys are having, got some guys back, some key guys back. So congrats on last year, but best of luck now going forward and to the upcoming season, Coach.
Thank you. Yeah, we're not satisfied. We're still hungry. We want more. So keep your eye on us.
All right, that's Coach Gonzalez and the Fohi Steelers here on the Inland Sports Show.
Thanks for clicking on this Inland Sports video. If you're a local business or an organization and you'd like to promote here on the Inland Sports Show, just send us an email, inlandsportshow@gmail.com.
All right, big thanks to the Fohi Steelers for that interview. When we come back here on the Inland Sports Show at Home Edition, more high school football as we check in with Norte Vista head coach Ken Batdorf. The Braves went to the CIF Southern Section semifinals in Division 9 last year, and Coach Batdorf has a really strong squad this upcoming season. We'll talk Novi football when we come back here on the Inland Sports Show.
And this segment of the Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Ken Sporting Goods in Norco, #1 in the Inland Empire for team uniforms, sports equipment, and Letterman's jackets. Boost Performance Training in Corona. Athletes of all levels and all sports train at Boost. And also ask about the Bass Private School. Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Personalized treatment you deserve from an orthodontist you can trust. Chick-fil-A in Rialto, right off the 210 freeway at Ayala Drive. Eat more chicken. And the Southwest Premier League. Visit socal.southwestpremier.org for more information on the league and the men's under-23 schedule.
What up, y'all? It's your boy Boostman here with a quick 2 cent. In pursuit of your goals as student athletes, it's perfectly fine to feel frightened, even intimidated over the amount of energy that will be required. The question is, how do you respond to fear? Do you allow it to stand in front of you or push you from behind? Big dreams and goals should always scare you a little, but allowing that fear to stand in your way will prevent you from moving forward. While those who use that fear as energy to push them forward can surmount any obstacle and achieve any goal. Your boy, Boostman.
The Inland Sports Show is proud to partner with Dr. Marcus Paulson and Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Dr. Paulson and his team work with children, teens, and adults using orthodontic products like traditional braces and Invisalign to make a difference in the appearance, comfort, and function of each patient's teeth. Paulson Orthodontics welcomes new patients, so schedule a visit today. Paulson Orthodontics. We make braces fun.
And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show at Home Edition. I'm your host, Pep Fernandez. In this segment, we're going to talk some Norte Vista football with head coach Ken Batdorf. Some exciting news at Norte Vista. They got a brand new locker room. Their locker room, to say the least, needed some upgrades, and it finally happened with a lot of hard work and some help from the outside. So here's our interview with head coach Ken Batdorf as he gets ready for what could be a big season for the Norte Vista Braves. Inland Sports. And now join us here on the Inland Sports Show. It's almost time for another high school football season, so bringing him on, he's one of our favorites. He's the head coach of the Norte Vista Braves, Ken Batdorf. Coach, it's hot out there. You already know this. It's hot out there, but you guys are out there getting ready for the season.
It is warm. I know we've got to be all over 100. And I know all week it's going to be 100, and we actually did Hell Week this week. We're doing Hell Week this week, and I'm going to give it to our kids. They're out here. They're selling out, working hard, and really proud of their effort.
So, Coach, I'm assuming weeks or months ago when you planned Hell Week for this week in July, you were probably hoping it wasn't going to be like 108 all week.
That wasn't really what I was expecting. In fact, in June, I'm like, you know what? It's the best June I've ever remembered. Looking around, all excited. I'm like, it's going to come back to bite us in the butt, and it has.
Well, Coach, I want to talk about your locker room, and I'm going to get to that in just a moment. But let's talk about this year's team. You got some dudes coming back. You've got a lot of experience on the line. You've got some playmakers. Are you excited about what this Norte Vista team might be able to accomplish this season?
You know what? I am, and I think that's why I wanted help. I needed us to kind of get torn down a little bit and then build us back up together as a team. When we all have the same goal and we're working for the same cause, we're going to be pretty good. We still have to keep going out there and play each down and each game, and nothing's going to be given to us. So, we got some really good linemen, we got some great strength. I got some good skilled kids coming back, and we've added a couple. So we're pretty enthusiastic about what could happen.
Obviously, coaching football is a lot more than just wins and losses. Of course, wins and wins and league titles and all that stuff is fun. But does it get you excited going into a season knowing this is a good group? Like, if we handle our business, if we do things the right way, this could be a special team.
It could be. In fact, when I talked to the coaches, one of the comments I said, are we going to be that team? The team that we always talked about in the past. Hey, there was that team in, 23. Remember those guys? That's what I want this group to be like. And we could be, but just you have to be lucky and healthy and do the little things right. And that's kind of what we're preaching. Do the little things right. And hopefully we can do that.
Well, you guys were just a couple plays away from, or maybe just one play away from playing for a CIF championship last season. So how many guys are back from that team? Do you have a lot of experience?
On the offensive line, we're returning 4 starters. We would have had 5, but one got hurt, and he might be ready by league. So, again, that's a really good group up front. We're going to start probably all juniors up front, all the way across. So that's kind of unusual, but they're pretty good for juniors. And then my quarterback is in a fight for a starting job. I mean, he was good last year, but we have another young man, Seth Bolander, who's doing a great job. I've got a couple running backs that can, take it to the house from anywhere, which is always a nice thing, in Jordy Lane and Tajon Henderson. So those 2 guys. And then I have a couple receivers who did really well last year, and they're returning starters. So Eli Martinez and Julian Reyes. So for us, it's like, wow, we got a lot of weapons, but you have to remember there's only one football. So we got to be able to share and do the little things, and hopefully everybody's happy.
Now, when I say this, I'm saying it seriously. I'm not trying to be funny or sarcastically saying this, but you might actually throw the football a little bit this year. You were telling me, off the air that you're excited about the offense and that maybe this run-heavy Norte Vista team has an aerial threat.
I think I would lie if I said we're going to be a passing team, but we might be able to throw the ball more than we have in the past. And let's be honest, if we can throw the ball 10 to 15 times a game, then for most schools, that's nothing. For us, that's a lot. And if we can throw it that much, there's going to be one less guy in the box, hopefully. And if not, we'll throw it more. So you're going to see some stuff this year that, we haven't run much in maybe 20 years. Back in the 90s, we were a little pass heavy. Most people can't remember that. None of these kids were even alive, and half of my coaches were in grade school. So, but again, we do know how to throw the ball. We can. And so just, again, a lot of work we still have to do and get there. We'll see what happens.
Coach, let me go circle back to the locker room real quick, because we're going to show some pictures of it so people can get an idea what we're talking about here. But, man, the locker room is going to be awesome. It's something special for, obviously, your players that have their nameplates, have a completely redone locker room. How did this come together? How did this, come together for Novi?
I'm trying to think how many years ago. Was that 5 years ago? Yeah, it was 5 years ago, because in the video I said, hey, I've been at one school for 25 years, and you develop special relationships. And we did a locker room contest for worst locker room in America. And it's sad, but our ceiling was leaking. Our lockers weren't closing. Our benches were falling apart. It was bad. So we did a video. We had a vote, and they said we lost. And we found it hard to believe because we had such a huge lead. But the company said, look, due to COVID, we couldn't do another contest. We're just going to name you guys the winners because you guys did such a great job. And that was from the Holman Company. They came in, and they did both boys and girls side. Initially, it was a self-help project. Me and a few of the fathers came in with jackhammers, and I was taking out cement slabs. And our superintendent thought that could be a little bit of an issue when you got non-professionals, especially Coach Batdorf, who are like, that looks good enough to me. Let me take a jackhammer to it. So they brought in a professional crew. Our superintendent was incredibly supportive. Even though the Holman Company was supplying the lockers and the flooring, our district stepped up and did a phenomenal job of helping me with the removal of a lot of cement. They put in some new ventilation system. So I'm really happy that the district helped out in that. And then through some donations of myself, I'm fortunate enough to have a little bit of extra money laying around, and Mike Langford, we've managed to do a lot of stuff in that locker room.
All right, Coach, finally, you're going to be out at Shark Fest out at Santiago High School this Saturday, a little 7-on-7 passing league action. Maybe you guys will make a run to the passing league title. I don't know, but I know for sure that your DBs, your defense, will get some good work in, right?
That's the whole idea. I mean, I'll be honest, I was thinking about before I got on the call with you, I may wear a shirt in the back of it says, I hate passing league on the ball. I really don't like passing league. I love Bert Esposito. He's a great guy and a good friend. But the idea of a passing league game, it frustrates me. I'll have the ball on the 5-yard line or 3-yard line, and you could ask every coach in my league, if I have the ball on the 3-yard line, we're going to run the ball. Here it comes. And I'm going to have to throw it. I don't have many pass plays in my book for the 3-yard line.
Well, Coach, listen, I appreciate the time. I know you guys are in the middle of practice during Hell Week, and I will see you out there on Saturday, out there at the passing tournament.
Absolutely. And one thing about the locker room, and I don't know if you touched on it, for me, the biggest thing is we want to honor the past.
Yeah.
And we put up jerseys of former players like Frank Corral, who played for the Rams. Anybody that got a Division I scholarship out of here, we put a jersey up with their name on it. And then the plaques haven't arrived yet, but I have plaques of all the young men that were all county, all CIF. We have an award called Brave of the Year, and those plaques are going up. So it really is. And I want our kids to realize that, hey, there were a lot of really outstanding people here before you. And Norte Vista has been around since 1960. It's a hell of a tradition, and hopefully we can build on that.
Coach, that sounds awesome. Really look forward to seeing it in person, the locker room, next time I'm out there at Norte Vista, and I always appreciate the time.
You bet. Great seeing you.
All right, that's Ken Batdorf, head football coach for the Norte Vista Braves here on the Inland Sports Show.
Thanks for clicking on this Inland Sports video. If you're a local business or an organization and you'd like to promote here on the Inland Sports Show, just send us an email, inlandsportsshow@gmail.com.
All right, a big thanks to Coach Batdorf for that interview, doing big things on the gridiron and off the gridiron, as usual, there at Norte Vista. All right, we're going to take another quick commercial break here on the Inland Sports Show. When we come back, we'll talk some football with Redlands FC head coach Cody Carlson. That is next here on the Inland Sports Show. We will be right back.
What up, y'all? Bruceman here with a quick 2 cent. Student athletes. During competition, things will always happen that's out of your control. That's why the best athletes are the ones with short memories. Whether it's a bad call by the ref, a questionable play by your coach, or a missed opportunity, whining about it will never solve anything. The ability to move on to the next play after something doesn't go your way is a skill that all great competitors share. So many times it's not just about what you do during competition, it's about how you respond. Boostman.
Hey guys, this is Jason at Ken Sporting Goods. We're almost to 1,000 Instagram followers. Tell your friends, like us, come down, see us. Thank you so much for your loyalty.
And this segment of the Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Ken Sporting Goods in Norco, #1 in the Inland Empire for team uniforms, sports equipment, and letterman's jackets. Boost Performance Training in Corona. Athletes of all levels and all sports train at Boost. And also ask about the Bass Private School. Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Personalized treatment you deserve from an orthodontist you can trust. Chick-fil-A in Rialto, right off the 210 freeway at Ayala Drive. Eat more chicken. And the Southwest Premier League. Visit socal.southwestpremier.org for more information on the league and the men's under-23 schedule.
Inland Sports. But a lot of our NFL guys, especially our local guys from the Inland Empire, trying to squeeze in one more vacation or do something fun right before the NFL season starts because, once July hits and training camp hits, they're locked down till maybe February, right? If you make a Super Bowl run. But for example, our guy Alexander Madison, just back in town doing his youth football camp, he was over hanging out at Wimbledon of all places. He was hanging out watching tennis. We had Jamal Williams from Summit High School in Fontana. He just got, remember he played the previous season with the Detroit Lions. Now he's with the New Orleans Saints. He was in Japan because he's a big anime guy. So all these guys are trying to live out, some awesome vacations before the NFL season starts. And finally, NBA Summer League. And you're probably thinking, why is he talking NBA Summer League? Well, Patrick, it's the NBA Las Vegas Summer League Finals tonight. It's a classic Rockets versus Cleveland Cavaliers matchup for the title. And a shout out to our guy Isaiah Mobley from Temecula having a huge summer league for the Cleveland Cavaliers. His brother Evan Mobley already a star with Cleveland, but Isaiah Mobley having a great summer trying to lead Cleveland to a prestigious NBA Summer League title tonight. Inland Sports. Join me with my boy Patrick in the morning on KCAL 96.7 FM every Monday and Thursday morning talking sports. All right, talking more sports, talking some football right now with Redlands FC head coach Cody Carlson. Redlands FC in their first season, their inaugural season, their maiden voyage. Not only Southwest Division champs, made the playoffs. They'll be at home Friday night at Dodge Stadium, home of the Redlands Terriers, of course, hosting a playoff match. They've had a winning season and incredible community support here in their first year. And Coach Carlson just very pleased about where the club is right now and where it's going in the future. Here's our interview with Cody Carlson from Redlands FC. Inland Sports. And now join us here on the Inland Sports Show. We've been going deep on high school football right now, but how about some football here in the IE? We're talking Redlands FC putting the squeeze on everybody else in their inaugural season. You guys see their logo. It's awesome. We'll put it on the screen with the orange. Join us here on the show, Cody Carlson, the head coach for Redlands FC of the USL League 2. And Coach Carlson, first off, folks are watching this and they're like, well, what league is this? Where did this come from? What's this club all about? Give us a quick snapshot of what this team is and the league that they play in.
Yeah, well, first of all, Pep, thanks for having me on your show. It's an honor to be here and talk about Redlands FC. And we perform we're competing in USL League 2, which is essentially the last unpaid level. The next level up is USL League 1, where players start earning, paid contracts, right? So it's meant to be the last, amateur level and meant to be kind of a summer league opportunity for most college players to use to develop and prepare for their upcoming college season, and also use as kind of a springboard. Hey, I had a good USL 2 season, and, now can I get more scouts and more opportunities to bump up to USL 1 and USL Championship or even MLS, right? So pretty exciting league for a lot of young U23 players. It's meant to be an under 23 league, but you can have a certain number of players who are over the age of 23. But yeah, primarily kind of a summer developmental league. That's USL 2.
So, Coach, if we looked at the Redlands roster, would we see U of R guys, UCR guys, CBU guys? Like, are we talking about local guys from the local colleges at least?
Yeah, absolutely. So, being that this is our inaugural season, we kind of had to assemble the roster with local guys, right? Fortunately, I've been in Redlands for a while now, having played and now coach at the U of R. And so I brought in 2 of my U of R players, Ethan Kovac and Ari Magari, who had graduated, played for me for 4 years at U of R. And they had great seasons for Redlands FC. So we had 2 U of R guys. And then, we had actually 10 players on the roster who were born and raised in Redlands. Right. So what a cool opportunity to rep their hometowns in front of their friends and family and all the fans, in Redlands, right? And then we supplemented the roster with other college guys, a handful of guys from UC Riverside, a handful from Cal Baptist, a handful from Cal Poly Pomona, who's a top Division II, and then, a handful of other guys, Cal State Fullerton guy, Jose Espino, and then Sebastian Asensio at Cal State Dominguez Hills. So, yeah, just kind of all over. But it's a really cool collection, but definitely the core had that, tick the box with, have some sort of association to Redlands, which made it special.
Yeah, and you guys are winning in your inaugural season with the local guys. I mean, that must be rewarding as well, these guys winning in their own backyard.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you would have told me when I took this job, in January, hey, yeah, you're going to win the Southwest Division in your inaugural season, I said, okay, yeah, that would be a pie in the sky type of dream, but here we are and we've done it, right? But I tip my hat to the players and, to my assistant coaches as well, who couldn't have done it without them. But, the buy-in that we had from our guys and, the crowd and the fan support, as well as, our ownership group that really got this thing up and running has been phenomenal, right? And pretty much could not have asked for a better inaugural season.
You guys are winning. You get to the playoffs. The fan support is unbelievable locally. Can you speak to that, just about how the community has rallied behind this team? I've seen the pictures. You got big crowds out there at Dodge Stadium.
It's awesome. It is, when the club was announced, there was a supporters group called the I-10 Ultras that just said, we're here too. Like, we didn't know them beforehand or anything. It's just a collection of local guys and families that said, you know what, there's a club in our own backyard and we want to support it. Right? How cool is that? I mean, that's incredible. I think that's, just kind of a little bit about the Redlands community in itself, right? And so, but yeah, man, I mean, the crowd has been phenomenal. They're the 12th man for sure at Dodge Stadium. We've had a handful of games with, I think 12, 13, 1,400 people, for our first season. That's pretty darn cool, we think. So our guys love it. I mean, and certainly in those games that were on the line and we pulled out a win, certainly like the other night, to clinch the Southwest Division title in front of all those people, waving the flags, Redlands FC flags. I mean, it's awesome. It's such a cool moment.
And then it's still going. The season rolls on. Friday night, you got a playoff match here in Redlands, Dodge Stadium. So are you excited about that? And who knows? I mean, how far can this team take it?
Man, that was part of my messaging to the group was, look, when you get in these moments, these opportunities, they don't always come around as often as you'd like, right? You'd like to be competing for, titles every year in, year out, and playoffs year in, year out. It just doesn't always work like that, except for the most elite programs and teams, right? So I told them to take advantage of it. Let's jump on this opportunity and just ride this thing as far as we can go, right? What a cool moment. What a cool story. Let's make it happen. So Friday night, San Francisco Glens coming down to play Redlands. Welcome to the Inland Empire Heat, San Francisco Glens. Let's see how you manage that. They're a good team. I know it'll be a phenomenal game, and would love as many fans as we can get out to that playoff game on this Friday night. That's going to be really special.
Man, that is home pitch advantage right there. You're going to leave 62 degrees for like 102 degrees or whatever it's going to be on Saturday or Friday night.
Yeah, on the hot turf too. Yeah.
Well, Coach,
you
mentioned USL League 2. It's like a springboard, right, to continue to go in the professional ranks. Like beyond this is the pros. You leave that amateur status behind you. But using this as the springboard, obviously, if you're on a winning team, if you win a championship, those things, that's got to catch other clubs' eyes, right? Like you mentioned, maybe MLS is the top of the pyramid, at least here, in the United States. Is that messaging to the guys, at least in terms of, guys, let's keep winning. If we keep winning, if we can win a title, that's only going to help you guys in the long run too. Clubs are going to look at you guys and be like, this guy's a winner. He won a title. They won a championship.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's on the minds of our guys. They're playing USL 2 because not only do they want to get better as players and help them, for their upcoming fall college seasons, but eventually, yeah, I want to see how far I can go and keep the playing dream playing dream alive as long as you can. And if you can earn a paid contract, then you do that until your legs can't play anymore, right? So yeah, it's on the forefront of a lot of our guys, and we've had for sure one USL 1 scout come out to watch us train and kind of evaluate some players and talk with me about what I think about players and stuff like that. So it's definitely, certainly the pathway, and want it to be more of a springboard. I think we do have a handful of guys that, in a couple years, maybe sooner, maybe later, will be playing in, USL 1 or championship level, or maybe eventually MLS. Yeah. But I think they still got some work to do to get there. But hey, keep working. Maybe it can happen. So
hey, maybe you got the next Landon Donovan on your squad, man.
Hey, maybe a late bloomer, right?
Yeah,
maybe.
Right. Yeah, my wife. Full disclosure, my wife is a Redlands High grad, so I know he was in Redlands briefly before he turned pro and started traveling and doing that thing. But I remember she said, "Oh yeah, I used to cheer at his soccer games like his freshman year."
Yep.
Long time ago. Well, Coach, I don't want to look too far into the future because you guys still have this season. You got a playoff match on Friday night. But does this get you excited about just the future of local soccer and the future of this club? Just seeing the community support, just, in your first season, the way you guys were able to win with local guys. Does it get you, excited about what's on the horizon maybe for this club?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, we knew that we had something, kind of special in the beginning stages. Just in my initial conversations with our co-owners, I think, hey, these guys have a vision about what they want this club to be. And I think, me being in Redlands now for the last, decade is kind of like, yeah, this is a town that will rally together for a new club like this. So obviously having a tremendous winning season, that's not going to hurt, right? That's only going to help, and hopefully rally more fans and more support, and try to grow this thing over the next few years, and see how far and how big we can get it and get it going, right? But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Still focused on finishing out this season, how far we can go in playoffs. So.
And finally, Coach, I'm always intrigued by the dynamic of, like you said, this is a summer league, so you're getting guys from a bunch of different schools, and they're coming together. And you probably don't have a whole lot of time to get these guys on the same page and, all pushing forward in the same direction to win a championship. As the head coach, I mean, how challenging, how fun, what's it like? Again, taking guys from all these different schools and getting them on the same page in a short amount of time.
Yeah, that's a great question. And, for me, this has been a tremendous, growth experience for me personally, because, I've been the assistant coach at U of R for a long time now, and do head coach in a youth club. But this is my first real test of a high level, pre-professional, amateur level, head coaching role at USL 2. So it's been great for me, but certainly challenging and awesome at the same time, right? So there's been so many players, because the nature of it, it's summer, so some players are either have availability differences, or injuries happen, or illness, or some players even had to leave to go back to their colleges already to begin kind of working with their teams and stuff like that. So you start to lose players to, go back to their college season. So really a challenge, and it's constantly a fluid thing of how do we get all these guys to kind of buy into the same messaging and the same thing and the same style of play. Because they're whatever college program they're at, they're probably going to play a different style. Right. So it's about trying to read our personnel and how each guy fits within the system that we want to try to play. And, obviously we were able to figure something out, something clicked. And like I was alluding to earlier, and I'll say it again, but just the collection of guys from Redlands who already knew each other, a handful of them had already been coached by me. So, we kind of already had those relationships built, and those relationships helped kind of, keep the cohesiveness of the group together. And, obviously we did something really, really awesome and want to keep it going.
Yeah, it's not done yet. Friday night, Dodge Stadium, Redlands FC taking on San Francisco. Coach, listen, I really appreciate the time. Congrats on the season so far, but let's pack the house on Friday night and see how far you guys can take this.
Absolutely. No, I appreciate you having me on.
Yes,
let's
sir.
Go Redlands FC.
Redlands FC head coach Cody Carlson here on the Inland Sports Show.
Thanks for clicking on this Inland Sports video. If you're a local business or an organization and you'd like to promote here on the Inland Sports Show, just send us an email, inlandsportsshow@gmail.com.
All right, a big thanks to Coach Carlson for that interview, and best of luck to the guys on Friday night, taking on San Francisco in the first round of the playoffs, USL League 2. All right, let's move on a little more soccer here. The Southwest Premier League match of the week, and it's a good one. Get popcorn ready. It's going to be Inland Empire FC taking on Atlas FC South Bay. That is this Sunday at the Ralph M. Lewis Sports Complex in Fontana. It's a 6 p.m. kickoff, so it'll cool down a little bit in the evening. So check out some great soccer. Big week of soccer, right? We got Messi in the MLS. You got Inland Empire FC taking on Atlas FC South Bay. So good week of soccer. That's your Southwest Premier League match of the week. Should be a good one out there. All right, everybody. That's going to do it for this edition of the Inland Sports Show. My name is Pep Fernandez. If you're watching this, give this video a like. Subscribe to our Inland Sports Show YouTube channel. We would appreciate it. And more high school football next week. We'll see you then. I'm Pep Fernandez. Stay safe. God bless you. And have a great night.